Another big win last night, 10th in a row, Coach Mashe. I know you're excited about that as the season here kind of winds down. Put ourselves in a position to once again compete for the East Championship. Still got a little work to do, but obviously the win last night was over LaTourneau was one of those big steps toward that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. We came out and played pretty good first two games and kind of had a little setback in the third game, and we've done that the last two games actually that we've played. We've lost the third game, and I think just getting a little comfortable out there, but also we weren't quite in our own last night. We were missing our libero. Nicole was out at a wedding for her brother, and so we were kind of a little out of system, but Holly came in and did a really good job as a freshman for us, and we didn't play up to our level in that third game, but LaTourneau played better as well. But anyway, it was a big win, and we came out and we did what we needed to in game 4 with the pressure on in somebody else's gym, and they brought a lot of people for the Dig Pink event, and it was loud in there, and we stepped up and did what we needed to do at the end of that game, so that was good.
It looked like, just looking at the scores, you pretty much your 3 wins, you had control of it, and there that one game just kind of got away from you. Was it pretty much just something that you guys had to fight through that third game?
Right. It was. I mean, we just started kind of making mistakes on our side, and I associate that with just kind of getting a little comfortable and just assuming because we won the first 2 games that they're just gonna, they're gonna fall apart. But none of those teams have done that. They're still fighting for the win. So anyway, we just kind of got a little relaxed, started making mistakes on our side, and didn't take care of the ball. So that was something that we knew we had to do better in the 4th game, and we did. So
earlier in the day yesterday, obviously, Brittany Herbert was named Player of the Week, Offensive Player of the Week. I had a big week last week. It gives us 2 in a row, 4 overall in the season as far as our players that have won that conference award. What does that say about those girls and their performance this year? And do y'all take any pride in that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice thing for those girls to be getting awarded for their good performances. I mean, they are deserving of them. They are working hard, and I think at the beginning of the year, nobody had really come into their own yet. And at the beginning of the year, we weren't getting any awards and weren't really performing to our abilities, just each of these athletes. And, they've kind of started coming into their own. Brittany coming back from her concussions, finally back to where she needs to be. I think that's one reason. But, all of them have stepped up and kind of starting to get in their groove. And with that, they're playing bigger for us, and that's helped us play better as a team. So, us getting better later in the season, a lot has to do with them getting better. So, we don't make it a huge deal, but it is something that's nice to be recognized when you're playing well. And I think that it does put a smile on their face, but then they know, okay, well, we still got next week. Mm-hmm. So,
well, you mentioned that big weekend coming up. Obviously looking ahead, but big weekend coming up. You got 2 really, I think, tough crossover matches this weekend, simply because you're playing at 2 different teams' home floor.
Right.
McMurray and Hardin Simmons, and then you also play Howard Payne to close out the weekend. If you can kind of give us a little bit of a preview on what you expect on this week's trip, and then of course that leads us up to the big one next week here against UT Dallas.
Right. It is going to be a tough one. I really feel like the teams on the West that we're about to play are all playing very good right now, just looking at their records and things that they've done the last few weeks. And, everybody on that side as well as us are fighting for a certain spot to get in the conference tournament and then be seated where you want to be seated going into the tournament. And so everybody's working really hard at this crossover to try to get that accomplished. And they're good. I mean, the teams we're going to play this weekend are good, and we can't take anybody lightly. And, playing in other people's home court is always hard. We play well at our home gym, and, it's hard to go step in somewhere else. And, last year we were at the same crossover, and, they did bring good fans, and we've got to be able to not worry about that and still play our ball game, because the fans last night got into it a little bit, and I think that distracted us some. So we need to just be focused on what we need to do. But it's going to be, and I've said this from the very beginning, we've got to not make so many mistakes. We've really got to be smart out there and put the ball in play and let other teams make mistakes. So but it's going to be a big one. We really need to sweep this to put ourselves in the best position possible.